Welcome, everybody, to the 10th episode of the Wild Blueberries Roundtable. Today, I am here with Andrew and Renz. And you know what? Let's just get right into the news. Renz, I'm sending it over to you. Jason Vargas pitched a shutout yesterday.
It's a miracle. And it wasn't even like he labored through it. 5 hits, 1 walk. What the hell, Giants? I looked at Twitter saying against the Giants it doesn't count. Yes, it does. You got shut out by fucking Vargas.
Just for reference, I told them before I started the recording that I knew how we were starting the podcast, but I didn't tell them how.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to start it.
Absolutely. Scott, you and I were talking last night at the end of that game.
We were all there.
And also.
Oh, Reds was there. Reds is just so quiet sometimes.
I don't know.
Like, amazing. He was throwing 83, 84 mile-an-hour fastballs right down the middle that they were just missing at. Like.
Yep. Because no one expects anything to come in that slow.
And then his changeup is like 76.
Zach Greinke, who leads the league in pitches under 70 miles an hour this year.
Pretty much.
And he's gotten like 13 whiffs on them too.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's get into some more news. Obviously, that was a nice minute and a half to start out the episode. I guess today we will go through like a little potluck full of things. We got Stanley Cup Finals Game 5 going on right now. We had some stuff going on in the NBA Finals yesterday. Mark Stevens, the one of the co-owners of the Warriors, did a thing. What else we got? We got some
NFL news.
We got Craig Kimbrell signing with the Cubs, and Carson Wentz just got a lot of money.
Oh yes, he did.
So you know what? Let's start with Game 5. Game 4 and Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Renz, why don't you start us off?
Okay, so Game 4 was a very needed rebound for the Blues right there because they got absolutely destroyed 7-2, which, that's not fun. No. So, and as of right now, I mean, early in the game, they look pretty bad getting outshot 9-2, but right now, it's going back and forth. Now the Blues have got it together. So, yeah.
Andrew, have anything to add?
In terms of hockey postseason, Game 4 or Game 5?
Stanley Cup Finals.
It's been a fun series.
It has been a fun series. That is true. And when the Stanley Cup Finals a fun series, that makes everybody more satisfied.
More happy.
And
yeah.
Tyler Bozak almost scored right there, but Tuukka made the stop.
Yeah, we've had a couple of close calls.
We've had a lot of them
in this game so far.
Calls in terms of goals and penalties. For that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but obviously if you take a look, Tuukka Rask has been good coming off a loss in the playoffs. Bennington needs one more win to tie the record for most wins for a rookie goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Obviously, in order to break the record, he needs to win the cup. But overall, it's been a good series. It really has, and
it's been a really fun series to watch.
Yeah, it's been entertaining, and I'm pretty sure the Bruins fans and St. Louis fans would like to disagree, saying it's very stressful. But if you're neutral, it's entertaining.
Yeah, as a neutral fan, it's wonderful to see a series like this. Granted, I do have a very biased rooting interest because I hate Boston,
We all do.
As
We
a
all
as a
do.
Flyers fan, I just hate everything that has to do with the Northeast and Boston. But aside from that, I'm fairly neutral.
And obviously, can we just take a second, Renz? What do you think of the man, the myth, the absolute warrior, Zdeno Chara playing tonight?
Kind of shocked he's playing, but dude's a warrior. And now here's my question: is he going to be a liability this game, or is he going to be of help? Because I don't know how the broken jaw is going to affect him in terms of communication and then like positioning and the sort of things. Like I would think it would help.
We have the referees on the phone to Toronto.
What, do they think that went in 5-hole? They don't even have proof.
There's nothing across the line. There's no goal there.
Wait, did St. Louis challenge that?
No, the
Toronto's
referees.
looking at it.
Where is the puck even?
It
The puck?
go through half of Tuukka's pads.
No,
No.
there's nothing there. Get this video review out of here. There's nothing there.
Stop wasting our times.
Give me more hockey.
Okay, let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah, let's get back to the podcast real quick.
Even though we do have hockey on in the background.
Yeah.
All right, so Stanley Cup.
Actually, that's a lot closer than I thought it was.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
That one angle
Wasn't a goal.
Yeah, that's right.
Was the Kevin Hayes trade the night of the podcast?
Yes, it was. We
It was.
talked about that at length.
So we already talked about that. Let's move into some Erik Karlsson shenanigans.
He got surgery today.
Erik Karlsson.
Yeah.
He had surgery the other day.
Yeah.
On his
Groin.
Yeah. And then also, Karlsson came out and said some things about potential offers he wants.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't believe the Ottawa one. I believe the Montreal one.
So the whole thing was Karlsson came out and said that he liked interesting offers from Ottawa and Montreal. Ottawa just because his wife is from Ottawa, and Montreal because it's close enough to Ottawa. Well, Montreal, I think that if the Montreal Canadiens want to go after Karlsson or Duchesne, they need to go out and make a couple trades. And there are three guys in particular, actually, that I think would be some of the first guys out. And I guess I'll name the guys, and Andrew, you could give your first opinion on any of them. Andrew Shaw, Carl Alsner somehow, and Philippe Deneau. What do you think?
I think the only way Alsner gets moved out of Ottawa is a buyout.
I don't know, because if you're
You
gotta look.
to trade that contract.
There are assets like Arturi Lehkonen or Yoel Armia, Charlie Houdon, who are all RFAs this offseason that maybe a team would be interested in.
But ideally, you'd keep those assets and just buy out Carl Alsner.
Is his contract buyout proof?
It is not. It's like 4 years remaining.
Left. He has 3 years left on this deal.
If Carl Alsner is bought out,
they'd save $3.5 million this year.
$3.5 million this year, $430K next year, $2.43K or $2.43 mil in 2021, 2022, and then there'd be an extra $1.07 mil in the books for the next 3 years. which is not a bad idea. I mean, it only frees up like a mil this year, but still, a mil's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But then, like, obviously, if we're looking at Montreal, you've got currently 11.7 in cap space. Pretend that the cap goes up from 79 to 83. That means you have 16 available.
And you're spending probably, if you're going after Carlson, you're spending about 11 on that. 11 of that 16 on Carlson.
Take a look. What do they have under contract next year? Drouin, Tatar, Shaw, Gallagher, Byron, Domi, Dano, Weiss, Wheel, Pekka, Thompson, Delorier, Kakaniemi, Paling on forwards. So, I mean...
They don't have a ton of free agents that are... They've got most of their guys signed already.
Yeah, the only guys who... Really, the only contracts they should be concerned about are...
Lehkonen, Hudon...
And Carl Alsner.
Yeah. I mean, Dale Weiss only has a year left on his deal, so if you aren't gonna play him, stuff him in the AHL.
Same with like Matt Pekka or Nate Thompson or Jordan. Like Jordan Wheel, I could see being their fourth line center next year. I mean, they gave him a contract
because he just re-signed with them.
Yeah, he just got that contract, so I'm pretty sure. Nate Thompson just re-signed with them also, so maybe like Wheel and Thompson make up 2/3 of their fourth line, and then I guess they'll bury Dale Weiss. It only makes sense. Same with Matt Pekka. Maybe they'll bury him.
You could use Weiss as like a 13th, 14th forward. Same with Pekka.
I'd rather have Pekka as the 13th forward than Weiss. That's just my preference.
Well, I would too, but you have Pekka as your 13, Weiss as your 14, and then you have your one other defenseman on the roster, and there's your 21 skaters.
Fair enough. But then... so if you're having 16, then you got Armia, who's going to want 2.5. Lehkonen, who's going to want 2. Dunk's probably going to want 1.5. So that's 6 mil. And then you got Jordy Ben, who's probably not coming back.
And Mike Riley.
Mike Riley, who I think Montreal really likes. What was that trade? Was it like Joe Morrow for Mike Riley or something? Or were they two completely different trades?
It was a 5th round pick they gave up for Mike Riley.
What was Joe Morrow to? What about?
That might have also been a 5th round pick.
But Joe Morrow was on Montreal.
That was a 2018 4th round pick that became Milos Roman.
Alright. So, obviously, Montreal's got some money tied up in some players that they shouldn't have money tied up in. Shaw, Weiss, Alsner. They have and Steve Mason's contract also comes off the books this year.
Yeah.
The only thing with Alsner, he's got a 7-team no-trade clause, so we'll see what happens there.
Mason's buyout doesn't come off till the end of this year.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
The end of the 1920.
Forgot Cap Friendly moved over.
Yeah, they've rolled over to the 1920 season now.
So, obviously, Carlson to Montreal, it actually does seem like a logistical fit. Besides Montreal, Ottawa, and San Jose, are there any other teams that you could see going in for Carlson, Renz?
This might be a weird one. Maybe the Rangers?
Oh, no. I see if the Rangers don't get Panarin, I see them getting Carlson. It only makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
I think there's a very, very slim chance that the Rangers get Panarin.
I don't know why.
He has his heart set on Florida because of the no income tax and the beaches and the sun.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe him and Bobrovsky probably go to Florida as a joint deal, which, that's what I'm thinking it probably leads to.
That's what's been rumored all along.
Yeah. Wouldn't
So,
shock me if it ended
it
up
wouldn't
happening.
be the biggest shock in the world if they both end up there. That's what I'm expecting to happen.
I'm pretty sure what everyone is expecting to happen.
All right, so another team I do see in on Carlson, which still, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't make sense at the same time. Stuff is weird in hockey right now. If it actually if
Happened?
everything goes out the way that people want it to, the New York Islanders. And by
Oh boy.
that people want it to, they mean Thomas Hickey's gone, Nick Leddy's gone, and they need a defenseman.
So that Letty for Dano trade goes through, is what you're saying.
What a lot of Islanders fans want is they want Nick Leddy for Philippe Danault and a pick,
Yeah.
which is a fair trade, and we were discussing that yesterday.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a
Leddy
terrible trade.
pick is a fair trade. Both teams get what they want. Montreal doesn't end up getting Erik Karlsson, but they get a cheaper Erik Karlsson in a puck moving defenseman like Nick Leddy, despite the fact that Nick Leddy's defense isn't fantastic. Neither is Karlsson's.
Yeah, and Carlson's more of an injury liability than Nick Leddy.
Yeah.
But if you're looking I don't want it to happen, but that's something that would say. Another thing I don't want to happen, the Nazem Kadri Islanders rumors.
That would be wonderful.
No.
That would be wonderful.
That would be pure Lou Lamoriello.
That sounds so Lou, it's not even funny. And this is coming from a person who's had Lou for most of his life as a GM.
All right.
I mean, one other team I could see possibly being in on Karlsson. I don't necessarily want to be on Karlsson because I'm a fan of the team. I don't like Karlsson as a player. I just think he's going to be making too much for what he's going to provide. It would be very, very difficult to fit in Erik Karlsson on the Flyers. As much as I'd like it, I don't think it's going to happen.
So basically, we're saying all three of us really want Erik Karlsson on their team, but there's no way it's going to happen.
You'd have
I'd be infinitely shocked if New Jersey
McDonald
got
somehow. And currently the Flyers have.
All right, we're moving on to the next topic because you're not getting rid of Andrew McDonald.
$33 million in cap space. But a lot of guys to sign.
Carson Wentz.
Do you want to talk about Carson making $32 million on his new deal? 4 years, $128 million, worth $128 million, up to $144 million, $107 million in guarantees. His AAV is just below that of Russell Wilson. He has the highest guaranteed money in all of the NFL. He is the first NFL quarterback signed through 2024. He is the Eagles' franchise quarterback. This is a beautiful deal because it pretty much guarantees Jared Goff and Dak Prescott are going to sign for more money despite being worse quarterbacks, which is a beautiful thing to me because that means two of the Eagles' biggest rivals in the NFC, the Cowboys and the Rams, are going to have less money to spend on quality players to surround Goff and Prescott with.
All right, so obviously, Renz and I are a fan of the same team, and we have a quarterback that's going to want that money sooner than later.
Yeah, he would.
Who just turned 22 the other day. And apparently half our team can't golf, which is what we learned today according to the Jets team bonding experience. But
not surprising.
I don't know. There were some interesting videos on Instagram today about some of our players not being able to golf ball. But
yeah, they're interesting.
Renz, what are your thoughts on this Wentz contract? Is it an overpay? Is it fair? Do you think Philly should have waited another year?
No, I think this is a good contract for them. Donovan McNabb be damned. That's the only thing I'm gonna read.
Absolutely.
I'm
Donovan
sorry
McNabb
if
can
you.
kick rocks.
I'm sorry. You might be a good quarterback, but you sure as hell don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
That's all I'm gonna say. Donovan McNabb be damned.
That is true.
Wentz has 6 years for 154 million total from now until 2024.
All right.
It's wonderful.
So now that we've got Carson Wentz out of the way, let's go with somebody else who before we do that, Andrew,
What?
Cavani subbed in and Moxie scored. We're up 5-2.
Well then.
Yep. If many of you don't know, probably most of you don't, New York City FC is playing tonight against FC Cincinnati. They're missing 7 of their starters, and they're winning 5-2.
Also, in terms of just while we're on the subject of Carson Wentz and the Eagles team, Eagles players signed for at least 3 more seasons. In terms of veteran players signed for at least 3 more seasons. Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Brandon Graham, Alshon Jeffrey, Malik Jackson, Deshaun Jackson, Nigel Bradham, and Isaac Seumalo.
Jesus.
That is a stacked team. Good luck to the rest of the league for the next 3 years.
That's a good team.
The Eagles are a very good team. They are Super Bowl contenders for the foreseeable future. And this new contract becomes the floor for Goff and Prescott, as I've said before.
All right, guys.
Who are both.
We're gonna continue this, but we're gonna wrap it up in a little while because we're getting some poor connection somehow, even though we've been high quality the past couple episodes. Moving on to the next subject. Craig Kimbrell finesse the Cubs.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to start here. So, Craig Kimbrell's in the midst of signing a 3-year contract worth $42 million with the Chicago Cubs. No prorated money, so he gets the full 42 mil. It has a 4th-year option. It is a team option worth 16 mil or a $1 million buyout. So the Cubs basically gave Craig Kimbrell $58 million.
It's a lot of money.
This is the team that said during the offseason they didn't have money. And
Yep.
Daniel Del Scalzo as their only free agent. This is also the team that is dealing with one of the most obscure yet heartbreaking stories right now in baseball in the Ben Zobrist saga, which if any of you don't know, Ben Zobrist and his wife of, I think, 10 years, Juliana, both filed for divorce in different states. So, yeah, this is
Yep.
wild.
It's a weird situation.
It is a really weird situation, but they are giving Zobrist paid leave. But if he decides to retire, or they're giving him leave, but the Cubs still get interest back. They still get some more money, so hence why they were able to spend some.
Yep.
If Zobrist ends up retiring at some point during the season before his contract's up at the end of the year, they get the full money back, which definitely would help the Cubs during the deadline. Now, obviously, we all agree that Kimbrell did well. Dallas Keuchel looks like he's in the negotiations process with the Atlanta Braves because the Yankees damn screwed up again. But to be honest, having Dallas Keuchel is like having a second J Happ. Dallas Keuchel, Atlanta Braves. Is it needed? Because their bullpen is the problem right now. Andrew?
Yeah, the bullpen is the biggest problem in Atlanta, not the starting pitching. So it's not the smartest move. Wouldn't be the smartest move for them to. I mean, it would help because then they don't have to rely on their bullpen as much because they have another starting pitcher. But it's not the biggest need for them.
Not at all. Renz, as a fan of a team, oh wait, Sam with Andrew. As a fan of a subpar team in the National League East, what's your thought on this?
I mean, for me, I don't like it just for the sole reason. Oh, great, let's face Keuchel. But at the same time, I do agree with Andrew. Their biggest problem is the bullpen, just like every other National League East team. And for me, my only reasoning would be that reason why they're going up to Keuchel would be that they want to move someone from their starting rotation to their bullpen as the long man. Other than that, I don't know what else they'd be doing.
I know Sean Newcomb has pitched out of the pen a little bit this year.
He has. He's been a train wreck this year.
Not as big of a train wreck as Kyle Freeland, but that's another story for another day.
That's...
As a Yankee fan, I know that Dallas Keuchel's career ERA versus the Red Sox is above a 9.
That's less than ideal.
Oh,
that's very bad, so...
maybe that's a good thing we're not signing him. Because that's just like another subpar player on our team. But sure. All right.
A lefty to put it at that, too.
So now, since we've gone through all that, let's see. What have we got left? We got Carson. We did Wentz, Kimbrel, Keuchel. We did the Stanley Cup. Oh, the NBA Finals and the Brooklyn Nets. Let's start with the Nets because they're always fun. The Brooklyn Nets today traded Alan Crabb, the 17th overall pick and a lottery-protected first-round pick in 2020, the Atlanta Hawks, for a second-round pick and Taurean Prince. They did this. They now have 2 maxes.
Yep. They do.
Right.
Kyrie
going to the Brooklyn Nets.
As a Nets fan, I would like that, but at the same time, I feel like he still somehow has his heart set on going to the Knicks or somehow going back to LA to team up with LeBron again.
I don't know.
It certainly appears that way.
A lot of reports that he really likes the situation in Brooklyn right now.
Yeah, I don't know why, but when it comes to me in basketball, I usually just look at it as smoke because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of rumors in basketball that just don't even come close.
Like so LeBron to Philly.
Yeah. So I just usually take it with a grain of salt.
You have to.
Yeah.
All right. So as a Net fan, what do you think they're gonna do with this? Obviously, D. Russ is getting a max, but what else?
Now that's the thing that I'm actually questioning myself. I would love them to try to get Kyrie. I would be a little upset if they gave it the max contract to, let's say, a Middleton, or maybe even a Harris. Actually, Harris, I wouldn't mind them giving a max contract, but for me, I don't know.
Signing a max contract with the Sixers.
You would hope the Sixers would offer both Tobias and Jimmy maxes.
Oh yeah, that's the one guy I would like to see the Nets try to go for, Jimmy Butler.
No, you can't have Jimmy. Jimmy's ours.
Jimmy going back to the Sixers.
He is our backup point guard.
I mean, we'll see.
All right. So, now there are 3 teams in the NBA that have room for 2 max contracts. The Nets, the Knicks, and the Clippers, who at the start of the season we knew were going to be players this offseason.
Yep.
Andrew, does Katie still go to the Knicks?
I wouldn't be shocked
Now,
if he still went.
we know the whole Katie's bringing somebody with him. Who is it?
I'm not sure. And I'm at the point where I really don't think I care all that much. I more care, do the Sixers bring back Toby and Jimmy? If they can bring them both back, then I'm happy. Otherwise, I'm real nervous.
I think you guys could bring at least one of them back.
All 3 of our favorite basketball teams are kind of in a situation right now where it's, oh boy, they've got money. What are they going to do with it?
Especially the Sixers, because you have Ben to give an extension to at some point. And how much is he going to be making?
Well,
Nobody knows, but it's definitely going to be a max contract.
Yeah.
The Knicks, Joakim's buyout drops by over $12 million this year. He's still getting paid. He's not getting paid as much. However, then you're looking at somebody along the lines of Emmanuel Mudiay, who needs a contract. Are they going to bring back Mario Hezonja? Are they going to bring back DeAndre Jordan? And that all depends on what Kevin Durant wants to do. Because if Kevin Durant comes to the Knicks, Kevin Durant's bringing someone with him. And if it's Kemba, it's Kemba. If Kemba goes back to Charlotte, Kemba goes back to Charlotte. If it's Chris Middleton, I don't mind. I just hope he doesn't get a max.
It'd be a little bit weird and maybe a little funny if it was Klay Thompson. Maybe.
I don't think it'll be if Klay goes anywhere, he's going to the Clippers.
Oh no, that's why I said it'd be funny if it somehow happened like that. To be fair, I also could see the Knicks, and I don't know if you feel about this, somehow still trading for Anthony Davis.
Oh, I had this whole debate today in school. What I said to my friend is, if the Knicks want to have an ideal offseason, they're not trading for Anthony Davis. And they're waiting an offseason. And Anthony Davis should be doing the same thing. He should be saying, I'll play a year with Zion, help mature him, and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, that's probably like New Orleans is like best.
Zion how to be a basketball player as a person and as an athlete, and then go.
Yep.
Go to LA.
I don't know why.
Go to LA. Go to the Knicks. Go to the Celtics. Go to the Nets. Go to this team. Go to that team. Just play a year in New Orleans with Zion. Let their front office be happy for a year, and then go do what you want.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've moved away from that, now let's talk about how Eric Sogard just hit a home run. Never mind. Let's talk about Mark Jackson. Oh wait, is that his name?
No.
No. Mark Jackson's a former Knicks coach.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Mark Stevens.
Yes, that one.
That's what it is. So, if anyone's seen the viral video of a guy pushing Kyle Lowry and the fan getting ejected for doing it, that was Golden State Warriors minority owner Mark Stevens.
He has been banned by the NBA for 1 year and fined $500K. Mark Stevens' ban is effective immediately and carries through the 2019-20 NBA season, including the postseason.
Sounds fun.
So he won't be at a game until the 2020-2021 season starts.
Yeah, he won't be there for a very long while.
All right. Renz, is this a correct punishment for him?
I'm happy at the very least they gave him a punishment. Is it enough? I honestly know. That might just be me.
Andrew?
According to what the NBA Players Association has said, they've said we're closely monitoring both the Warriors and League's continued investigation into this matter and await their conclusions and response. They've previously expressed its support of a zero-tolerance policy with respect to verbal and or physical assaults against players.
So the question
Mark
is, are fans
Stevens
close? Are fans too close?
I would argue no.
They're not. It's kind of more of a thing of fans should know how to be well mannered in that position.
Yeah, if you're going to be at court, if you're going to be courtside, know how to act courtside. You shouldn't do stuff like push a player and curse at them during a game, especially in the finals when there are cameras all over, and there are cameras all over in every game, but you're going to be caught no matter what happens, and you're going to get kicked out, and it's just, you got to be smarter about how you conduct yourself when you're at courtside.
All right.
It's just not a good situation.
So I guess that will be it to final thoughts. I'm going to start. First off, Max Kepler is the first opposing player with 3 home runs at Progressive Field since Max Kepler on 1st, 2016. Yes, Max Kepler has been in the majors for that long.
It's crazy.
He didn't break out till this year, and I'm kind of happy for him.
Yeah, it's good to see him breaking out finally.
Yep.
Donovan McNabb tweeted out, "Congratulations to Carson Wentz and the Eagles for extending their partnership. Great things ahead."
Yep.
Okay, Donovan, who paid you? Okay,
Donovan. And my third and final thought, the first round pick of the New York Yankees, he was teammates with Jack Leiter this past year and has been friends with Jack. So Anthony Volpe, who was the Yankees shortstop they drafted in the first round this year, has been teammates and friends with Jack Leiter, Al Leiter's son, for a very long time. He is committed to Vanderbilt. However, there was a rumor that there would be a chance that either he would sign if he got drafted by the Yanks or Mets. Del Barton, which is the school that they go to, just won the state championship. So they tweeted out a picture of the two of them at Yankees WFAN. Here's your new state champs. Leiter was lights out, and Volpe hit a 2-run home run to give us the early lead. The Yanks have 2 studs coming their way. New York Yankees, please negotiate with Jack Leiter. Please sign the man. All right, Andrew.
Jay Bruce. This trade was.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah, I could have.
This trade was made on Monday. He joined the team in San Diego. Andrew McCutchen tears his ACL. The next night, Jay Bruce starts, hits 2 bombs, had 6 RBIs, has 3 home runs and 7 RBIs in his first 3 games as a Philly. This man is on fire. It is an amazing trade. We are paying him $2.75 million for the rest of this year and next year.
And only because Seattle needed to get out of his contract.
Yeah, and we gave up nothing, and they're paying most of the money.
Yep.
It's a win. There's no other way to describe it. And then yesterday, the Phillies scored 5 runs in the 7th and 8th innings, and Adam Hazley, who got called up after the McCutchen injury, gets the game-winning hit. His first major league hit is his first major league RBI, and is also holds up as the game-winning run he knocked in.
I'm
What a weekend!
cut you off, Andrew, but the Braves have agreed to terms with left-hander Dallas Keuchel on a 1-year contract.
It's only 1 year. It's not the end of the world.
Likely a 1-year contract. From David O'Brien, the senior writer for the Braves at The Athletic.
But to have this start to the week after the awful end of last week and this weekend the Phillies had losing 5 in a row, to end up winning this series against San Diego, it just has to feel so good for this team. Coming home, they've got a 6-game homestand, and they're feeling good going into it.
They better be feeling good going into it.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it for your thoughts?
That will be it for my final thoughts, and Ryan O'Reilly is giving the Bruins the lead.
You mean Blues?
Yes. The team that is in white and on the road in tonight's game. The Blues have a 1-0 lead courtesy of Ryan O'Reilly from Zach Sanford.
Stick?
Yep, that stick is a crazy stick.
It is the wraparound stick, basically.
And Ryan O'Reilly somehow doesn't get called for a trip.
It had 0 flex on it.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked. I don't know how he has a stick like that.
All right, Ren's final thoughts, and then we're going to wrap it up until Monday.
So my final thought is, it's a small one. I'll say that.
Is it that Jason Vargas is the ace of the New York Mets pitching staff?
Okay, make it 2. That one. And I saw this yesterday on Cut Force Twitter. So there was a no-hitter going on, or a combined one.
Oh!
That one.
Talk about this. Is it the minor league one involving the Yankees?
Yep, the one where you broke the no-hitter by bunting.
So the Trenton Thunder were playing the Pawtucket, not the Pawtucket Red Sox, the Hartford Yardgoods. The Boston Red Sox AA team. I think. Right?
Yeah.
It was Hartford. And what happened was the Yardgoods were throwing a no-hitter.
Combined no-hitter
going into the ninth. Matt Lipka, who's hitting sub 200, comes up. What does Matt Lipka do in the top of the ninth, Renz?
He bunts and he gets on base to ruin the combined no-hitter.
The
Sox fans were furious.
In his defense, it was still a close game, and he wanted to give a base runner for the top of the order, who are all hitting very, very well. So I don't see any issues with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. He was playing baseball.
Oh, thank God you guys have the same opinion as me.
The only time I would think that was wrong is if it was the starter that was still in.
Yeah, this is a combined no-hitter. Already kind of doesn't count.
If it was the starter that was in, or if it was a bigger gap in the score. If it was 5 or 6 runs they were up, I would have a bigger problem with a bunt to end a combined no-hitter. But it's a combined no-hitter. It really doesn't count already.
All right. And before we close it out, I am going to give everyone an amazing song recommendation, along with Avicii's posthumous album, Tim, which I'm going to listen to right after we get off. Andrew can probably vouch. I haven't listened to it yet.
It's an amazing album. It represents what he stood for so well. They did. The composers that finished producing this album did such a good job. Granted, I think it would have.
They were the two guys who we worked with on Pure Grinding.
Yeah,
A great song. But
it would have.
the
It would have sounded different if Tim had actually finished the album.
yes. But the real song recommendation, Google up Scott Stapp, Marlins Will Soar. That is it for this episode of the Wild Blueberries Roundtable. We will see you on Monday.